An active shooter event is one of the most frightening situations imaginable. It is defined as one or more individuals actively engaged in killing or attempting to kill people in a confined and populated area. These incidents are, by their nature, unpredictable and evolve quickly. Unlike other crimes, the primary motive for most active shooters is mass murder. They are not looking for money or hostages. Their goal is to cause as much harm as possible. Because of this, the immediate deployment of law enforcement is required to stop the shooting and prevent further harm to innocent people. Understanding this reality is the first step toward preparing yourself. On a military installation or army facility, the threat can come from different sources. An attacker might be an insider, a soldier, a civilian employee, or a contractor who has legitimate access to the base. This person may feel wronged, be experiencing a personal crisis, or hold a deep-seated grievance. Familiarity with the layout of the facility can make them particularly dangerous. The attacker could also be an outsider, someone with no official connection to the military who has managed to breach security. Their motivations could range from personal vendettas against a specific person on base to broader ideological or terrorist-related goals. It is crucial to remember that a threat can emerge from any direction, at any time. This is why preparation is not just a suggestion, it's a critical component of personal safety. While we hope to never face such a scenario, having a plan can be the difference between life and death. You would not get into a car without knowing how a seatbelt works, and you should not enter a public space without a basic awareness of how to react in a crisis. This mindset is not about living in fear. Instead, it is about empowering yourself with knowledge. Knowing what to do can reduce panic and allow you to make clearer, life-saving decisions under immense pressure. It is a practical skill for modern life. The core of any active shooter response plan is simplicity. Complex instructions are easily forgotten during a high-stress event. The federal government and law enforcement agencies have developed a straightforward, easy-to-remember framework: evacuate, hide, take action. This is not a rigid sequence of steps, but a set of options to choose from based on your specific situation. The best choice depends on your proximity to the shooter and the physical environment you are in. We will explore each of these options in detail, but committing these 3 core actions to memory is the single most important thing you can do to prepare right now. One of the most effective tools we have in preventing these tragedies is recognizing and reporting concerning behaviors before they escalate to violence. In many past incidents, attackers displayed clear warning signs that were noticed by friends, family, or co-workers, but were not acted upon. These signs can include a noticeable increase in aggression, paranoia, or social withdrawal. A person might start talking about violence, seeking revenge, or expressing feelings of hopelessness and despair. They might develop an obsession with firearms or past shooting incidents. No single sign is a definitive predictor, but a combination of these behaviors over time should be taken very seriously. On a military base, these warning signs might present in specific ways. A soldier might show a sudden, drastic decline in performance, have repeated disciplinary issues, or express extreme anger toward their chain of command. They might talk about being treated unfairly or become isolated from their unit. Similarly, a civilian employee might make comments about getting even with a supervisor or co-workers, or they might suddenly start missing work without explanation. Any expression of suicidal thoughts or intentions to harm others is a major red flag that requires immediate intervention. Reporting these concerns is not about getting someone in trouble, it is about getting them help before they harm themselves or others. It is vital to trust your instincts. If a person's behavior makes you feel uneasy or fearful, do not dismiss that feeling. Often, our intuition picks up on subtle cues that something is wrong. Concerning behaviors can also manifest online. Pay attention to social media posts that glorify violence, threaten individuals or groups, or show an obsession with weapons. Many attackers have used online platforms to broadcast their intentions before an attack. If you see something, say something. Report your concerns to your supervisor, the chain of command, a law enforcement agency, or through your installation's specific threat reporting channels. An early report can set in motion the support and intervention needed to avert a crisis. Creating a culture of awareness is a shared responsibility. We all have a role to play in keeping our community safe. This means being observant of those around us, not in a suspicious way, but in a caring one. It means fostering an environment where people feel comfortable reporting concerns without fear of reprisal. When we look out for one another and take troubling behavior seriously, we build a stronger, more resilient defense against violence. Prevention is always the best strategy, and it starts with paying attention and having the courage to speak up when something does not feel right. It is a simple action that can have a profound impact. If you ever find yourself in an active shooter situation, your first and best option is to evacuate. If there is a clear and safe path to an exit, take it immediately. Do not hesitate or waste time gathering your belongings. Your life is more valuable than any personal item. Help others escape if you can, but do not let the indecision of others slow you down. Once you are outside and in a safe location, call 911 or emergency services immediately. Provide the operator with as much information as you can: the location of the shooter, the number of shooters, a physical description, and the types of weapons they are using. This information is critical for the responding officers. If you cannot evacuate safely because the shooter is between you and an exit, your next best option is to hide. Find a room, preferably one without windows, and lock or barricade the door. Use anything you can find, desks, chairs, filing cabinets, to block the entrance. Silence your cell phone, including the vibration setting, and turn off any lights or sources of noise. Stay quiet and calm. Position yourself out of the line of sight from the door and any windows. Do not open the door for anyone until you are certain it is law enforcement. Your goal is to create a time and space barrier between you and the threat, making you a harder target to find. As a last resort, and only when your life is in imminent danger, you may need to take action to disrupt or incapacitate the shooter. This is a terrifying but potentially life-saving choice. Be as aggressive as possible and commit to your actions. Yell, throw items like fire extinguishers or chairs, and use improvised weapons. If you are with other people, work together to swarm the attacker. This is not about being a hero, it is about survival. The goal is to create chaos, distract the shooter, and create an opportunity for you or others to escape. Any action you take to disrupt the shooter's ability to aim and fire can save lives. Remembering these three options, evacuate, hide, take action, gives you a mental checklist to run through during a crisis. The situation will dictate your choice. Is there a safe path out? Evacuate. Is the shooter too close to escape? Hide. Are you face to face with the attacker with nowhere to go? Take action. Thinking through these scenarios now, in a calm moment, helps prepare your mind to react more effectively under extreme stress. This mental rehearsal can significantly improve your chances of survival by replacing panic with a plan. When law enforcement officers arrive on the scene, their first priority is to stop the active threat. They will move quickly and may not be able to stop and help injured people on their way to the shooter. Understand that they are trained to proceed directly to the source of the violence to prevent further casualties. You must do everything you can to show them that you are not a threat. Immediately raise your hands, spread your fingers, and keep your hands visible at all times. Do not make any sudden movements toward the officers. Do not hold anything in your hands that could be mistaken for a weapon, like a cell phone. Follow all instructions from law enforcement without hesitation. They will likely be shouting commands. Listen carefully and comply immediately. They may ask you to drop to the ground, or they may direct you toward an exit. Do not stop to ask questions or argue. The situation is still chaotic and they need to secure the area quickly and efficiently. Keep in mind that the first officers to arrive will not know who the shooter is, so they must treat everyone as a potential threat until the scene is secure. Your cooperation is essential for your safety and theirs. Avoid pointing, screaming, or yelling, as this can add to the confusion. Once you have reached a safe area or been evacuated by law enforcement, you will likely be moved to a secure assembly point. Here, officers and emergency personnel will provide aid and begin their investigation. They will need to identify and interview everyone who was present. Try to remain calm and provide as much information as you can. Every detail you remember could be crucial. Think about what you saw and heard: the shooter's appearance, their clothing, the type of weapon they had, their location, and the direction they were moving. This information will help law enforcement piece together the events and ensure there are no additional threats. Finally, long-term safety comes from a combination of awareness and preparation. Always be mindful of your surroundings. When you enter a building, make a mental note of the nearest 2 exits. Think about what you would do if you needed to leave quickly. Participate in active shooter drills and training when they are offered. These exercises build muscle memory and help you and your colleagues respond more effectively as a team. While we can never eliminate the risk of such an event entirely, we can greatly improve our odds of survival through preparation, awareness, and a commitment to decisive action. Your safety and the safety of those around you depends on it.